For a number of years now, we in our cameras have been following Austrian company Westtech and its customers. Our on-the-scene reporters on the Woodcracker have become part and parcel of our YouTube channel's content. But who is the man behind those orange machines for cutting trees, splitting wood, and clearing stumps? We'll give you the answer in this video. Together with the company founder, Werner Steininger, we'll take a trip down memory lane back to the very beginning. We'll show you how the machines are developed and built and where they're used, not only in Austria and Germany, but also elsewhere in Europe and around the world. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Woodcracker story. A farm in Weißenkirchen, Upper Austria. In his parents' workshop, Werner Steininger was tinkering with a solution for splitting thick tree trunks so that the wood could dry out more effectively before being processed into wood chips. The young engineer had an idea in mind. The only thing he was struggling with was the technical process of turning it into a reality.
We
were confronted by a question. How could we break up large trees? Then I took a pair of pliers in one hand, a piece of wood in the other, and simply split it into two. It worked well, so I thought we should try that out. The basic idea for how it would work was similar to a standard pair of manual pliers. After I'd become a design engineer, I began drawing and then made my first attempt at creating the thing. The next step was to cut out or assemble the parts we needed, which was not all that easy. We got this cylinder from a nearby scrap dealer. At that early stage, things were easier in theory than in practice. But at some point, it eventually all clicked into place. There was a large ash tree that needed felling nearby, so that was where we put the very first splitting pliers to use. We split up the whole tree, including the stump.
The process involved splitting wood in this unusual manner, drew great interest. And so Werner came to start up his own company that same year, a courageous step that he still remembers well to this day.
I started up the business on my own in 2005. I had 38,000 euros in my savings account at the time, and I needed 35,000 euros of that to get the company going. My parents were not exactly thrilled about the idea of my investing the money in this startup. They thought I should have done something else with it. So I put 35,000 euros into setting up the company, then had 3,000 euros left over as startup capital. And that's how we got it all started.
More than 17 years have passed since then. The garage-based business has now turned into an industry-leading company that offers a wide range of machinery for the forestry and landscaping sectors. Today, its product lineup includes the Woodcracker along with various cutting heads, grapple saws, stump shears, and clearing rakes. These are manufactured exclusively at the company's headquarters in Brunner. After running out of room in the workshop on his parents' farm, Werner moved his company to this location in 2008. Westtech currently employs a workforce of 68 and delivered around 1,400 pieces of machinery to customers. As for the company's name, Westtech, it stems from an abbreviation of the founder's name, Werner Steininger, and the German word Technik. The brand name, Woodcracker, came from a lighthearted conversation over some drinks at the pub.
One evening, I was sitting in the pub with some friends having a round of drinks. We were in good spirits, and the conversation was flowing. I showed them a video of my wood pliers in action. They could hear the wood cracking really loudly as it split, with a real popping crack sound. Until then, we had always just referred to the machine as splitting pliers. But then one of my friends said it sounded like a woodcracker. I really quite liked that. At that time, the internet was just in its infancy, but we searched the web, and sure enough, there was no documented use of that term when it came to splitting wood. So, there was no previous connection between the word woodcracker and the process of splitting wood. Then my patent attorney agreed. The name is a great idea. You absolutely have to go ahead and get this trademarked. So we proceeded to file for the Woodcracker trademark and had it registered.
Woodcracker eintragen lassen.
Westtech uses mostly domestic raw materials. The few parts it procures from elsewhere come from other Central European countries. Werner has always been committed to a high level of vertical integration because this gives him control over the quality of his products.
Natürlich ist von mir der Anspruch da.
Naturally, I always aim to produce a good, high-quality product. My aim is for us to build each piece of machinery as if we were making it for our own personal use.
Mein Anspruch ist, bau Produkte so, wie wenn du es selber verwenden würdest.
Assemblies or entire machines that undergo heavy stress and strain are made of high-strength Hardock steel. Applying a cathodic dip primer, then a powder coating, ensures an attractive appearance and prevents corrosion long-term. The high-quality standards are reflected in the product's long service lives. That has always been the case. For living proof, look no further than the first pair of splitting pliers, which Werner welded together himself in 2005. This piece of equipment is still in use today. We were able to track down the current owner and brought our cameras along for a visit. Thomas Glogner, from the German town of Gmund am Tegernsee, was looking for a solution for splitting tree trunks.
Ich habe irgendwas gesucht gehabt, weil wir viel starkes Holz haben.
I was always looking for a way to split wood, as we have a lot of heavy timber that I need to prepare for our log heating system. I wanted to make the job of breaking it up or pre-splitting it easier, and I came across this machine by chance. I've been working with these wood-splitting pliers ever since, and I can't think of a better tool to work with. The Woodcracker is ideal for me. It offers excellent splitting power, easily splitting even tricky pieces of wood ranging as high as 10 feet in length. Then I let them dry a little, trim them off, and split them again.
Es trocknen ein bisschen und dann schneide ich es auf und klebe es mit einem normalen Kleber nochmal nach.
The farmer uses the splitting pliers on an old walking excavator, which he also bought secondhand. It's a happy combination that might not deliver top performance, but reliably does the job. When Thomas bought the splitting pliers, he wasn't aware that he was taking possession of the very first Woodcracker.
Nein, ich habe nicht gewusst, dass das die
No, I didn't know that this was the original machine. I bought the machine and then spoke to Werner at the trade show, and he asked me for the machine number. I told him, there's no number on there. Then he simply said, it must be the original machine then. That's how I got to know Werner.
Along with his own firewood, Thomas also pre-splits trunks around his neighborhood to go in the wood chipper. To move his walking excavator, the tinkerer came up with a clever solution.
Ja, ich tue im Schreibbacker.
I attached the walking excavator to the tractor. I fold the legs together, fit a drawbar at the front, and use it to attach the excavator to my tractor. Then it's pulled behind like a tipping trailer.
Grob gesagt.
The first wood splitter is now evolved into the Woodcracker W820, which delivers 29 tons of splitting force. The range has been expanded to include both larger and smaller models. The top model, the Woodcracker W1800, was first ordered by Lenzing AG to pre-split strong beech trunks, with the resulting wood to be used for fiber production. The pliers open 71 inches wide and pack a powerful punch with 52 tons of splitting force. Later, Westtech launched the Woodcracker L, a pair of horizontal splitting pliers with one fixed part and one moving part. The idea came from agricultural contractor Stefan Rockbauer, who was looking for a splitter that wasn't too tall and could be used on his wood chipper. The first prototype is still out there today.
Ja, da sehen wir den Urprototypen L-Spalter.
We're looking at the original prototype of the L-splitter. We developed it with Werner Steininger. I already knew him at this point, and we were good acquaintances. Then that was when he built the splitting pliers. Unfortunately, its overall height was not right for us, so we considered a different shape. Originally, the splitter was mounted the other way around on the grinders on the compensator at the top, and we needed to keep the machine's height down there. Otherwise, it would have been too tall. We welded the machine together from leftovers we found in the scrap iron dumpster. It worked pretty well right from the start, just as we wanted it to. It only had 3 articulated joints, 1 cylinder, and very few moving parts, making the machine rock solid and durable. I have to resharpen the cutting blade to give it back its strong grip, but otherwise there isn't much maintenance involved with this piece of machinery. The system has proved itself in action. This basic idea of a simple but rugged machine can still be found in other products, such as the CL. You can get a lot out of these types of machines, even with very little technical effort.
Today, Stefan uses the latest generation Woodcracker L700 on his chipper. He uses another L-splitter with a combined headstock on his farm loader and his excavator. The prototype is rarely used anymore, but is still available as a commemorative piece and a spare machine for just in case. The Woodcracker L quickly became a bestseller. Today, Westtech manufactures 4 different sizes and various attachment configurations. It is frequently used with timber trailers stabilized on support legs. The wood is laid down from above using the crane, then split and pulled apart. The Woodcracker L is just one example of many that have been developed based on practical experience by users who had to solve a problem.
Es war dann schon interessant, Kunden haben
From this point on, things got very interesting. Customers were using the Woodcracker for other applications, mainly to split and clear stumps. The Woodcracker was not naturally well suited to that task, so we started thinking about how to come up with a neat solution to this problem. What we ultimately decided to build was a dedicated stump clearing device.
The Woodcracker R was born, a hydraulic cutter that made it possible to clear and split up stumps in a single process for the first time. The soil remains on the construction site, and the clean wood can then be processed into valuable fuel using a chipper. Soon after, the Woodcracker S400 was specially developed for the French market. This was another clearance cutter, but one that would cut the stump flush with the ground and leave the roots in the ground, ideal for spots prone to soil erosion. Another product in the company's selection is a clearing rake, the Woodcracker G. This item is available in 3 different sizes, with the option to include gripper fingers. It is equally suitable for clearing small stumps, cleaning up large areas, and for material handling. The Woodcracker C, which Westtech launched in 2009, was a game changer. This is a hydraulic cutter that can be used to cut away entire trees or sections of trees before holding them in place and laying them down in the exact spot desired. The perfect machine for felling problem trees. Today, the product range includes 4 different models, with cutting blades going up to 23.5 inches in diameter. The upright blade is resistant to dirt and foreign matter. An optional collecting gripper increases performance when working on weak wood. The machine is robustly built, but because of its weight, it also has to be towed by a powerful vehicle. For this reason, smaller versions of the tree cutters were soon developed. For example, the Woodcracker CL, an extra lightweight cutting head for use on small excavators, or even on a loader on the farm. This product proved to be an immediate hit and is on its way to becoming an evergreen favorite in the lineup. And Westtech is now going a step further, presenting the Woodcracker CS just in time for the company's 10th anniversary. This is a felling gripper, which uses a chainsaw rather than a blade to cut the wood. But originally, Werner had completely different plans for it.
Ja, wie es halt im Leben so ist, ich habe mal gemeint, ich werde nie eine Säge bauen.
As always seems to happen in life, I'd always said I'd never build a saw. Well, never say never. Then suddenly the idea of developing a saw came along. But let me tell you, it's quite a challenge developing a grapple saw that can remove timber while being fixed in place. It's a difficult one to build. Why is that? Because when you remove parts of the tree standing, whether with a saw or with a blade, it's a real task taking on the weight with the carrier vehicle. Since the saw blade is so thin as well, it's very easy for it to bend or break. At first, I was extremely reluctant to build a machine for this application. Then came the idea of attaching the saw blade to accommodate a swinging motion. This would prevent it from getting stuck or bent out of shape because the blade can move. The swinging suspension allows the saw to move out of the way if too much pressure is applied.
Oder diese Verformung, was in den Eintrag kommt, das Sägeschwert ausweichen kann.
The saw can be built with a much lower weight than the cutter. This means that much larger diameters can be cut with a lighter machine, making the Woodcracker CS a natural fit for those working on strong wood. The machine has two powerful grippers that hold the trunk securely. It is designed to allow entire trees or sections of trees to be removed upright in sensitive locations. The Woodcracker CS is quickly becoming the machine for felling problem trees in residential areas and on roadsides. Westtech will be bringing more versions to market over the next few years. The Woodcracker CS 510 crane is suitable for gimbal mounting on any forestry crane in place of a gripper. This customer uses the machine on their timber trailer to remove and load roadside trees in a single process. When combined with the Westtech walking foot extension, the gimbal-mounted saw can be used on an excavator. Another interesting accessory is the telescopic extension to the Woodcracker, which can provide a substantial increase in reach without the need for permanent vehicle modifications. The grapple saw for the telescopic loader is called the CS750 Smart. This transforms the carrier vehicle into a high-performance felling crane. The machine can cut trunks up to 29.5 inches in diameter and has an ultra-strong gripper, which holds the trunk tightly until it has been laid down. One real showstopper is the feller truck, which Westtech developed along with customers. This is a mobile felling crane attached to a truck with an enormous reach, offering uncompromising capacity to remove large trees. Early on, Westtech was already exhibiting its various Woodcracker models at various trade shows at home and abroad. But the company's breakthrough came with online marketing. Werner still remembers the early days well.
YouTube ist, glaube ich, 2005 gegründet worden.
As I recall, YouTube was founded in 2005, and I was very excited by it. So it was early on that we started filming how the Woodcracker worked. That got things rolling properly, because the machine we built really worked. That's when the interest started coming in from prospective customers. First, of course, just asking whether the machine would really work. After that, we did a demo in a nearby part of town to show how it worked. Then after some time, we put on another demo in Germany. From these shows, we came to realize that the Woodcracker would need to come in different sizes, ranging from small to large, and that's what we went ahead and did. The development projects were underway.
So ist es eigentlich dann entwickelt worden.
Today, the bulk of Westtech's machines are exported. As early as 2012, the first Woodcracker was sold to Africa. And since 2017, Westtech has also been active in the United States. The machines are used around the globe, making work processes easier, faster, and most importantly, safer by taking workers out of the danger zone. The vast majority of customers could no longer do without the Woodcracker.
We have learned in 10 years of experience that the conditions in South Africa or Southern Africa is harsh. We have more wear on our machines, and the wood we're working with here is harder, much harder than in most other parts of the world, and therefore we need tough equipment that is over-designed to do the specific jobs we want. We bought the Westtech Woodcracker for creating a safer working environment and also to speed up the harvesting process of biomass. We are looking for mechanized ways of handling these dangerous situations, and that's where we believe the Woodcracker will add much value to our business.
If we didn't have our C550 and R1300, we would not be in land clearing. We would be strictly residential work. Without those two units, it would be very difficult for us to be competitive in our market. With those two units, we have an advantage over many of our competitors in our market because we just don't have the overhead that a lot of other guys would have with those. They're just so much simpler and easy to run, less maintenance. It's a total game changer compared to how we used to do it.
As we were working on putting our crane together, we found a partner in Westtech that enabled us to develop a machine that is crucial to the work we do these days. The crane has several advantages. For instance, we can work over obstacles due to its high point of articulation and its telescopic articulated arm. Plus, we can achieve a high reach, laterally up to 105 feet and horizontally up to 144 feet.
My name is Matt Vuoshin, and I'm from Landworks Enterprises, and we basically do anything from small to large tree removal. We specialize trees that are more hazardous, that are in locations where it's difficult for other guys to get to, whether you have that tree over your house, whether it's over the power lines, whether it's over the pool, no matter what obstacle we have, we can remove it.
In this instance, we are using Westtech equipment to dismantle ash trees. It was decided at the start of ash dieback in the UK that ash couldn't be felled safely by chainsaw operators because the trees were very fragile. Tree climbers very quickly said it was dangerous to climb the trees and that they refused to do it. Latest industry guidance is that mechanization of felling ash trees is the safe way to go forward.
The Woodcracker has really saved us a lot of time, and more important than that is the safety aspect. We don't have a climber up there with dead ash trees falling on the climber or potentially falling on the climber or tops breaking out. The drop zone is clear comparatively to doing it with regular crane work or with a bucket truck and chipper.
The efficiency is unparalleled. You can shear trees at a speed and reach up, shear a tree off in half, lay it down, grab the trunk, shear it off, lay it down. Just way faster than you'd ever do with a chainsaw.
Yes, in October 2022, we were able to put Magnite to work. Its lifting height is up to 98 feet, and it's equipped with a Westtech grapple saw. Since then, we've used it to fell hazardous trees, making the job safe for our staff and minimizing the need for semi-automated timber harvesting.
That thing is amazing. It has saved a bunch of time. There, boom, boom, and it's done. And when the Woodcracker cuts them down, he can lay the trees and the logs down on the side of the bank, and it makes it so much easier for me just to grab and chip, grab and chip.
I can't imagine working without the shear. In my view, nothing else compares to its safe method of tree removal. Even if the shear is relatively heavy, you've got to be able to estimate the weight. After all, if you snap something off, it's off for good and it has to be put down safely. But it works, even in, let's say, extreme situations. Our machine hasn't sustained any damage yet. We enjoy working with it immensely, day after day.
und es macht unheimlich Spaß damit zu arbeiten. Jeden Tag aufs Neue.
In addition to the classic lineup of products for splitting and cutting wood, Westtech also sells landscaping machinery. For instance, the mow blower caused quite a buzz in 2017. This is a lightweight attachment featuring a blower for discharging cut grass, which can be attached to remote-controlled mowers with caterpillar treads. It's suitable for maintaining lush green areas on roadsides, embankments, and waterfronts. The mow blower clears the mown grass from the area, preventing nutrient intake and creating a low-maintenance natural meadow. And the same year, Westtech also launched a hydraulic drive mulcher for excavator mounting. Werner's aim is to broaden the company's base by filling niches in the market like this. To meet the increasing demand, Westtech has continuously modernized and expanded its manufacturing facilities at the company's headquarters. A new assembly shop is currently being completed, and Westtech is building a biomass heating plant that will supply the entire company with environmentally friendly wood heating in the future. To make his ideas about quality a reality, Werner relies on state-of-the-art design and production methods with laser cutters and welding robots. But it's people who play the key role, as the boss is well aware.
Ich stelle mir immer vor, wie wenn ich Mitarbeiter wäre.
I always imagine how I'd see things if I were employed here as a member of staff, putting myself in their shoes. It has to be a pleasant atmosphere. Staff need to be praised for their work. The physical environment needs to be suitable. There has to be a sense of fun about the place. The team need to be right for each other. And it's important that people feel they're in good hands. Just how you'd want it if you yourself came to work here and did the job.
There's a family feel at Westtech. Werner attaches great importance to a leadership style based on treating his staff as partners. Decisions are worked out together instead of being issued from the top down. The low staff turnover is testament to how comfortable the workforce feel in their roles. Many members of staff from the business's earliest days are still around to this day. The boss is proud of his team, without whom the company would not be where it is today.
Ich möchte mich bedanken bei all meinen Mitarbeitern.
I'd like to thank all my staff and all my customers. In the words of Henry Ford, coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success.
Zusammenarbeiten ist unser Erfolg.
The company knows which direction it's heading in. Westtech has equipped itself with the right tools at the right time, with the biomass supply likely to continue growing in importance. To find out more about the business and its range of products, you can visit its website and social media. Plus, you can watch more videos and exciting on-the-scene reports about the Woodcracker machines on our YouTube channel.